Both the readings note the hardship faced by genuine prophets. Jeremiah's own family have turned against him, and the religious authorities aim to do away with Jesus for threatening the status quo. But Jeremiah's aim was always for the welfare of others. Remember that I stood before you to speak on their behalf, to turn away your wrath from them. What he wanted was their help, their peace, their life. And the whole purpose of Jesus, similarly, was on helping those most in need of help. I am come to seek and to save what was lost. These gifts come from the Lord and must be asked for in prayer. Jeremiah's apostolic activity redounded from the remembrance of the Lord and his plans and hopes for others. The end of Jeremiah's confession seems to reverse this attitude and demand revenge and pain from God upon these same people. When Jeremiah curses his enemies, he is not at his best. He is simply being honest and open about his feelings, saying, as it were, "Here, God, is how I feel. Help." When Jeremiah was most in darkness, he still sought the Lord's will. It is important to trust that God has an overarching plan. Even Jesus did not claim to know every detail of this plan, Matthew chapter 24, verse 36. And so he was unable to promise to James and John the privileges they asked for. Perhaps it was the mother of James and John who asked this promise from Jesus to give her sons the highest places in his kingdom. In Mark's version, it was the pair themselves who made this proud request. But God's plans are not to be advanced in the way of personal ambition or double dealing. The gospel today begins and ends with humility and sacrifice. He has come not to be served, but to serve, to give his own life. We see this attitude of service in the life of St. Francis Xavier. Francis was nonetheless fearless, or rather, he was fearless because he had nothing to lose, nothing to fear, whether from men or from the elements. He braved them all. Pirates and shipwrecks in the seas, robbers and torrential rains on land, everybody tried to dissuade him from attempting the journey to Japan first and the one to China later. He would not listen. He went ahead with his plan. He was equally fearless when he had to face the might of men, even if his life was in their hands. He spoke up the truth, whether to defend the faith or the downtrodden of this world, especially the Christians he had baptized, that like St. Francis Xavier, I too may spend my life in the service of those who are in need. Let's pray for this grace for one another.